So suppose Docker network. First of all, understand that network. What is a network? Network, if you are coming to the Docker, right? So you are creating a VPC and all. Why? Because for accessing that network means your resources and all. Similar way, Docker contains some has some network to interact with the container to container. Container means so how to connect to each container, how which kind of networks we have to be see that, okay, even though we have to be also see that can we create any networks. So I will going to cover this under this section, Docker network. So first of all, that network, it is all about the communication. So network is used for the communication between host to network and network to net means port to port communication and all. So we have to understand that which kind of network we have into the container. So Docker network, it is used to provide isolated network for the Docker containers. Okay, isolated means what? Means how it is interacted with the one container to another one, and what is the its boundaries are. Okay, and in Docker we have a below three default network. First one, it is a bridge. Second one, it is a host, and third one, it is none. And it is a by default you are getting. If you are creating, or if you are not creating anything also, right? So by default you are getting these networks. How we will see that network will going to cover, and where is that? I believe the session is out. Yes, session is duplicate. So first of all, we have to be see that Docker. If you don't remember while working, right? In an interview, it is important to learn each and everything. But if you are working, if you forgot to option into the Docker, you will type this command. Okay. Suppose you want to see that network command, so Docker network and hyphen hyphen help. So we have these many options are there. Okay, so create, disconnect, inspect, ls, prune it is here. See, prune it is also available here. For that, rm also connect means connect the container, connect a container to the network. Okay, so these many options are also available into that. And here it is ls, right? If you have any existing network, you can able to see that Docker network ls. It will by default you are getting, you are not creating anything, any network, right? But what happened here, you are getting three networks. One, it is a bridge network, host network, and null network. Okay, here none name is there, and driver it is there. So name it is bridge network, host network, and none network. So here what I'm explaining we have a three networks. Okay, and it is a default network. It is created before itself. We are not creating this one. Okay, and when we are creating anything, any network, so by default it is a bridge network. So we have to be see that uh, what these are, but understand that it is a default network. It is created when we are installing our Docker itself. Okay, so we are not means creating a separately. When we are installing a Docker, we will get these network by default. In Docker, we have a network driver, for the bridge. It is a bridge network, host network, none network. It is already you are able to see that, right? Here in driver section, it is written this, and two more it is there, overlay network. Okay, overlay driver used for that Docker Swarm and Mac VLAN network. It is also one driver. Okay, so now we are not discussing about it. We are only focusing about default networks. Okay, while when we are installing anything, any Docker software, so it will get a default one. So first of all, we have to be understand that bridge network. Why bridge it is required and how we can use this. This bridge used for the bridge driver, and it is a recommended driver when we are using a standalone container, and it will assign an IP for our container. Okay, suppose what happened, we have to be assigned with the help of bridge driver, right? It will assign one IP for this container. And host driver, it is also used to run a standalone container, but it will not assign any IP. For this one bridge network, it will get one IP, but host network will not get any IP. It will not assign any IP. Okay, a none network means no network will be available for the Docker container. Make sense, guys? So here it will get a IP, and here it will not get any IP. And here what happened? No network itself it is coming. I am not talking about here right now. Otherwise you can confuse. You will little bit confused about it, but understand that these are the terminology. I will explain that in detail. Give me a minute. Yeah, so as I already discussed, right? Bridge network, host network, none network. So we have to be understand that bridge network, it is a private default network created on a host. Okay, it is a private. It will create a private network on the host, and container linked to the network have an internal IP address through which they will communicate with each other easily. Okay, understand that it will bridge will assign one IP, and Docker server creates a virtual Ethernet bridge, Docker D, Docker 0, that operates automatically by delivering packets among various network interfaces. And these are widely used when applications are executed in a standalone container. Okay, so listen, I already explained that what happened. It is a private network. It is assigned one IP. With this IP, it will easily communicate with that. It has a daemon, and it is a Ethernet bridge network. It is there. It's called Docker 0, and with this one, it is interact with the easily, right? It will easily transfer that packet. Packet means it is a information, your data, and it is these are the widely used when the application are executed in the standalone application. Means suppose you have a container, inside the container application is there, right? Suppose you have a host inside that you have a deployed multiple containers, right? Multiple containers, and container what it has an application deployed. For each container has its one application at least, right? Otherwise why we are creating? So we we want to deploy some application into the container. That's why we are creating this. And each container by default, if we are defining anything, right, it is a bridge network. And what happened, it is getting one IP. If it is if this container belongs to the bridge network, right, then it has one IP. If it is belongs to the host one itself, right, it don't have any IP. Okay. If it is a none network, so no network for this this container. So these are that, you can say that it is a terminology networks, by default network for that containers. So understand that host one now. It is a previous one bridge network. It is what? It is a private. Okay. And host network, see here, it is a public network. Okay. And it utilize that host IP, means whatever it is there, right? If you want to expose that container will expose with the host IP. And address IP, I mean, it utilizes the host IP address and TCP port space, TCP port space to display the services running inside that container. Okay, means you can utilize IP and port number of host machine itself where the Docker it is installed. That okay, it if effectively display network isolation between Docker host and Docker container. Uh, while which means using the network driver, a user will be unable to run multiple container on the same host. Okay, so and understand the differences here. Here it is a public network, and previous bridge network it is a private network. A public network don't have any IP. It is expose that container with the help of host network and host port, and this bridge network contains, right, bridge will contains one IP, its own IP, and here none. In this network driver, the Docker container will neither have any access to external network nor it will be able to communicate with other containers. Means no connectivity is there. So no connections are available for this this non network. Okay. This option is used when the user wants to display the networking access to the containers. In simple terms, none is called a loopback interface, and which means it has no external connectivity interface. Means if you want to expose this one, right, which is which creates means container it is created under the none, so you can't expose that container from the external network. Okay, means you can't use, means you can't access that container from the internet. So understand that how we are creating any network. First of all, it will ask that what is the difference, simply, okay, what is the host network, what is this, what is that. You have to be understand that what is this. Okay, and explain that it is private network, what is the public network, and non-network means what, how it is working. So you have to be explained that, only that much they are expecting. And even though I will also tell you what kind of question they will ask that, but for the time being you can understand that this much. It is very much important because for the connectivity part, everywhere it is important that you have to understand that why we are working this, why we are using this, and when it can be used for which purpose. So what happened? Docker network ls we have. So first of all, okay, we want to create it. Docker network create hyphen hyphen help. If you don't know the syntax, you will type this. So you will get this kind of options. Okay, driver, blah blah blah. So simply, what kind of command we are using? We are going to cover this. Session, hold on for a while. Leave it. I will let explain in my way. Docker volume, Docker network. Okay, suppose I'm creating my own network. Okay, so Docker network create, and after that we have to be provide network name Pavan hyphen network. I'm giving a random name. Now what happened that it is a created, and how we can able to see the Docker network it is created or not. And here I'm not mentioning anything. It is a which kind of network it is. So and let's see that by default on without providing any option in which kind of network it is creating. So what happened? Power network name it is created, right? Network name, and the type is bridge. So it means that it is if you are not providing any options, right? So by default, it is created under bridge network, and bridge network has a capability to communicate with hmm,
Other company.
sorry,
Yeah, it has internal IP.
it has a one IP. Yes, and it is a private network. Okay, and now what happened? We have to be see that our network about the network Docker network inspect and my network name. My network name is Power Network. So here see name, ID, scope, driver, enable IP version. It is a here. It is a false. IPAM subnet. You see the subnet is it is there, right? Gateway it is there. Internet attach attachable ingress whatever configuration it is related to that network, right? Everything you will get it. And here what happens, subnet and gateway it is defined that. Okay, makes sense. So suppose if you want to interact with this integrate with this because you are creating a network, right? So everything when you are creating, so what is the purpose of it? You have to be attached with your container, right? It is creating you what you are creating only networks. So even though previously just now few minutes ago you have created your volumes, and volumes you have attached with your networks, right? Your containers, not network. You are creating your volumes and attach with your containers. And similar, now what happened, you have created your own network. It is not default network, right? Pawan hyphen network, it is what? It is your custom custom network. It is your created network, and you have to be also attach this network into your containers. Okay, so what is the command of it? Docker run hyphen, if you want to press D, means it is a, what is the meaning if I will press hyphen D? Atul,
Detach mode.
detach mode.
Detach mode. Yeah.
What is the meaning of detach mode?
That will container will run in background.
Okay, hyphen B, docker run hyphen D hyphen P, and here hyphen P I will explain later on. I not explained it. P means port, hyphen network. Okay, and here you, what you have created a network Pawan, right? Pawan networks, and then after that, what your image then. So what you are going to create, docker run hyphen D. Hyphen D, with the help of the hyphen D, what you will achieve? It is under detach mode. Okay, and here hyphen P, it is exposing, it is a port forwarding. You can say that port mapping, you can say that, and 8080, it is port mapping, and you are attaching that network which you have created, and with the help of this image, if you want to type the name, your container, you can also, you have to be right. So name my Tom cat. Okay, and here that option hyphen P,
hyphen name, but
hyphen name, yes, and here hyphen P. Here what happened in locally, when suppose because Tomcat image, it is not available into the local. If it is not a local, here what message it is populated? It is a populated that unable to find the image, Tomcat latest one locally. Okay, so what happened? It is routed to that Docker hub, and it will pulling the Docker Tomcat images from the Docker hub libraries. Okay, and then what happened? Whatever you are going to, you want to create it, right? It will create it. Means what happened? Your CLI, Docker CLI, it is integrated with the Docker hub. We have already seen that, right? We have installed the Docker server, Docker client, both into the same server. That's why it is easily communicated with the Docker hub. Make sense? And here that ID it is created. What is the container ID, right? Docker PS. It will trigger this command. What happened? This is created with 55 seconds ago, right? Just now. So what happened if we want to see this Docker Hmm? I'm trying to see this container itself. Okay, so understand that which kind of network it is created, blah blah. It is providing all the information. But let's see here. ID when it is created, state it is running. If it is a stop, right, it will show that it stopped here. So yeah, this one images resolve name driver overlay it is there. Network mode. Yeah, network mode is it is Pawan and hyphen networks. Why? Because we are we are attaching that. We are attaching this my network into this container, and here port binding it is there. Port binding 8080 TCP port we are binding, right? That's why it is showing port binding. I will explain when we are covering all the commands, right? Only port binding it is pending as of now, and Docker compose. So even though I already told multiple times to read you, but if you read or not read, I don't care about it. I will explain one more time. So this is the part I believe everybody is aware that how to use this when how to create the network, how to attach the network. I believe everybody is aware now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So suppose here if you want to create a multiple container and you are not using Docker network ls, if you will fire this command, it will list down everything, right? All our bridge network by default it is creating. And not what happened, only this one, only this one first one network I'm using, and two it is not using, right? Only just created. And if you want to delete these unused network, so how we can delete it? Same command unused, where if interview in interview if anybody will ask the unused, so immediately you have to trigger in your mind that they he wants to be know about a prom command. Okay, so immediately you have to be answer that we can use for the prom. If he is asking about the network, then you will say that Docker network. If he wants to be discuss about the volume, you have to say that volumes. If he wants to be uh, know about the images, you have to be see I mean tell him to that we can use a Docker images and then prom command. Okay, so now what happened, we have created two extra network and we are not using this. So prone command we have to be trigger that. Okay, what it will do, it will delete it unused one. So what happened, only two it is deleted. Okay, and see that whatever it is created earlier and it is used into creating a container, it is not deleted. Why? Because it is used. If it is not used means it should be also deleted, but it is already used for the creating one container, so that's why it is not deleted, this one. Make sense, guys? Docker Docker network. Okay, so this much here. And what happened, hyphen help. So create, disconnect, connect, we'll see later on. Inspect, I already cover ls cover, chrome cover, remove cover, Remove not covered. I will explain remove also. Okay. If you want to delete, right, a specific network, so how you can delete it? So we have a simple command without thinking anything. Docker network rm and provide anything, right? And if you want to delete this used one, right, it is unused, though simply it is deleted. That if you want to delete this used one, so what happened? It is throwing this error. See, listen, here error response from the daemon, error while removing network power, it is use this container id, right, has active endpoint, means it is already used, so don't delete it. It is providing that information. Even if you want to do the query, see that we can do it or not. No, it is not able to do it. Okay, so first of all, what happened, we have to be stop that container. So docker ps, which container are there, we this one. So docker stop and this command ps, nothing is there, right? So now what happened, this one, it is power network, right? So docker network ps,